What's up, y'all? So today I am just going to propagate, as always, into the realm. You know how I do, of course. So what are we going to talk about? The distractions, the wars, what's happening with the realm. What should we talk about? Well, honestly, it's too much to talk about the distractions. Who really wants to talk about any of that? Who wants to go through the monotonous task of trying to coax the masses, wake them up by speaking the nuances of truth, by choosing, really?
Sure, that's right. That's right.
Dr. Randall, you sure you're okay? You want a glass of water? Or...
I don't feel so good.
All right. So I think what we'll do is we'll go to commercial break.
Don't cut away. Let me say something.
Well, you came to the right place because on this show we like to say things.
Oh, would you please just stop being so pleasant or charming or likable all the time? Sometimes we need to just be able to say things to one another. We need to hear things. And if we can't all agree at the bare minimum that a giant comet hurtling its way towards planet Earth is not a fucking good thing, what the hell happened to us? I mean, my God, how do we even talk to each other? What have we done to ourselves? And now that they're actually firing scientists like me for speaking out, for opposing them. The people out there aren't even going to listen to what I just said because they have their own political ideology. But I am not on one side or the other. I'm just telling you the fucking truth.
I think this would be a good time to establish that Isherwell and the president have both said.
Right, well, the president of the United States is fucking lying. I hope to God that this president knows what she's doing. I hope she's got us all taken care of. But the truth is, this whole administration has lost their fucking mind. And I think we're all gonna die. Look, I just want to go home. I just want to go home more than anything.
For me, I approach this from many different angles, depending on the circle that I'm around, depending on who I'm interacting with. If I want to level set, I can always use that as an option, but I choose to kind of just play the game. Now, when I say that, does that make me an emotionless person? No, by no means. I have all of those chemicals, same as you, running through your veins. Now, could I choose to overrule them, overlook them? Of course. That's what sociopaths do. I mean, honestly. They're not getting the proper chemicals. Oh, no, they're getting them. They're
They're right about you. You're a bloody psychopath.
High-functioning sociopath with your number.
If you knew how the human brain actually worked, which, granted, our scientists don't actually know how the human brain actually works. They don't know how anesthesia actually works. Look it up. They don't know.
So yeah, a lot of modern anesthetics is just based on happy accidents that occurred along the way. Doctors didn't really understand how pain works, they just knew that this took it away. These days we understand pain really well, and we totally get how anesthesia works. At least 2 of the 4 anyway.
So they're kind of just winging it. Oh, well, that amount got that person to fall asleep. Do you know how? No, it just did it, so we're going to go with it. Look it up, seriously. So now, we're really just pretending at this moment. A lot of us, all of us, even really, we're just pretending. What would happen if we stopped working and just lived like they used to? What would happen in that instance? That's a boring lifestyle. Really? It's boring. So the monotony of this, what we have today, isn't boring. So having sex with one another all the time, endlessly. I mean, granted, sex is great, but after a while, it can lose its appeal. I mean, honestly, some could say speak for myself, which I am. I'll speak for myself. I'd rather retain my energy and share it with someone of substance and value than just to overwhelmingly just give it to everybody. Because, I mean, I'm at a different station than most. Is that elitist? Well, do you know who I am?
This is wild. The two of you, same person. I mean, it's a little unnatural, but wow.
He who remains.
He who remains. She's still calling me that. I like it. Come on. Come on, let's talk from my office.
You're just a man.
Flesh and blood. Don't tell me I'm a disappointment.
Just a little bit easier to kill.
Come on in.
Come on. But to each person, they will have a different experience, and that is for them. And with me being them, I cannot really judge them for doing whatever they want to do. Or can I? Well, technically, yes. We are judging each other, so I'm not going to judge at this moment someone who really just wants to experience life and is experiencing their life at this moment. But with that being said, really, what do we have? What kind of society is this? For me, talking about this subject is very hard. Talking about our society and where we're at for the vessel, it's maddening. Because if I look at this from a 3D lens, a 3D angle, what they did was monstrous.
Our story begins, as these stories often do, with a young, up-and-coming politician. He's a deeply religious man and completely single-minded and has no regard for the political process. The more power he attains, the more obvious his zealotry and the more aggressive his supporters become. Imagine a virus, the most terrifying virus you can, and then imagine that you and you alone have the cure. It's at this point in our story that along comes a spider. He is a man seemingly without a conscience, and it is he who suggests that their target should not be an enemy of the country, but rather the country itself. 3 targets are chosen to maximize the effect of the attack: a school, a tube station, and a water treatment plant. Fueled by the media, fear and panic spread quickly, fracturing and dividing the country until at last the true goal comes into view. No one would have predicted the results of the election that year. Not long after the election, lo and behold, a miracle. A pharmaceutical company controlled by certain party members that made them all obscenely rich. While a memorial is built to canonize their victims. But the end result, the true genius of the plan, was the fear. Fear became the ultimate tool of this government.
There's no going back. For me, I really liked this system for a time. I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to become a public servant. I was in the military. I did a lot of things in my life and I enjoyed it. But at the same time, once you get to a point, once you start realizing what all of this is, once you wake up from the programming, the matrix, the spell, you see this realm for what it really is. You see people for who they really are. And with all that, you can see through the distractions that are placed in front of us. I mean, there's so many at this moment. But I'm at a level where I can see through all of that. I know who I am because I am. So once you get to a specific level, who can really tell you anything about yourself, about the realm? Because you've honed that skill. You've gotten to a specific level, so to speak. So Cat's out of the bag. I will never go back. And I will continue to speak about my spawns, my children, myself, in this vessel and in others. But to some that would seem very convoluted, that would seem very crazy talk-esque. But we live in a very surreal world. And a lot of physicists, a lot of our if you want to say our logical sciences, state that we are possibly in a holographic projection. Oh my gosh. Get over it. Move forward.
Holograms are capable of encoding so much detail that, for example, it is possible to take a holographic projection of a glass of swamp water and view it under magnification to see small organisms not visible to the naked eye when the glass of water itself is examined. The whole concept of holography, despite its scientific implications, has only been known to physicists since the underlying mathematical principles were worked out by Denis Gabor in 1947. He later won a Nobel Prize for his work. Laboratory demonstration of Gabor's work only occurred years later following the invention of the laser, as biologist Lyle Watson explains. The purest kind of light available to us is that produced by a laser, which sends out a beam in which all the waves are of one frequency, like those made by an ideal pebble in a perfect pond. When two laser beams touch, they produce an interference pattern of light and dark ripples that can be recorded on a photographic plate.
Either you can let that scare the heck out of you, you can become shaky, you can, okay, if I'm a program, I'm just gonna be a program, I'm gonna do whatever I want. Yeah, you can, at this moment. But just rest assured, everyone's being judged. This is it. This is it. Wake up. The signs are there. And anyone who says the signs aren't there, they're trying to coax the narration. I'm sorry, but there is a main narrative that is going forward. And whether you like it or not, narrative characters have woken up. And so with that being said, those narrative characters will do what they were programmed and are supposed to do. So I'm going to continue my job. Good luck. Now, with that, we have no choice but to wake up. I mean, some would say, you can't judge people for not waking up. Oh, at this point, oh, best believe I can. It's pretty blatant that our governmental structures are lying, for one, are posing a very imminent threat to the mass majority of people who live on this planet, for another.
Some things have gone on here. I was kept in the dark, as you were, for a very long time. Troubling things.
Yeah.
We have to figure out who was responsible for what, and we have to do this very delicately, otherwise people might get the wrong idea.
We have to lie.
Did I say that?
No, you didn't.
You're upset. You mind if I give you a bit of advice? Of course, you know this because you're a smart guy. You should never make important decisions while you're upset.
Innocent civilians are dead because of it.
I never ordered any...
Don't even think about playing that game with me by pretending you had nothing to do with it.
How dare you come in here and lecture me?
How dare you, sir?
I am the President of the United States!
And a lot of people are just going with the flow. You're going with it, so I'm sorry, my bad. You going with it. My apologies. So really, what do we have to talk about? How can anyone convey to you where you are if you can't see it for what it really is? You have doctors telling you, oh, the narration we were given, yeah, no, everything was wrong. The data points, it's not adding up. Dollar signs are adding up, but the data is not. Where are you? Crazyland, Funland, Disneyland, where are you? Now you have people like me. You're stuck with us. And to some, I may be seen as, this man is a very dark person. To others, I will be seen as the light. But at the end of it all, we are all one and the same. Me being a specific narrative character, and I only use that in an egotistical manner to level set to a certain degree. Because that's a very limited way to level set, by just putting it out there. But if push comes to shove, if you need a full demonstration, you've gotten a couple.
It's a race against time. Move now! Leave your stuff! Go! The fire's at the back! Go! Dramatic, just-released body cam footage shows first responders urgently evacuating people during the catastrophic fire that swept through Boulder, Colorado last month.
And those who are in positions of grand authority know this. So, right now, with all this information being pushed onto us, I want you people to really take a good hard look at yourselves. Look at the realm. Look at your friends, families, loved ones, organizations you're a part of. Look at everything. Make a choice and be done with it. You are in your test. I am in my test. We are in a test together. And if you think that for those who are, and I'm speaking to a specific group now, if you think you can do anything to the vessel, to any of the narrative characters, to the chosen, the elect, and you have to look at that word very clearly, elect. Would you be able to? Only if it was written. Only if it was written. But with that, you know what time it is, don't you? You know you can't do anything. You know you wouldn't be able to. Because even if it was written for you to destroy the vessel isn't what I am.
My creator, forgive me. The creator brings him home.
It's not what I am at all. So, I love the symbiosis that the body has when it comes to working with energy and kinetics and all that. Oh my God, look at the human body. It's amazing. It truly is. Just research it. Heck, hair alone. Got to love the hair. Got to love the hair. Yes, indeed. Well, this video may be getting a little bit more convoluted than I wanted it to be, and it's getting a little bit longer than I would like, so I will leave you with this. It's time that you stop pretending. If you care for someone, if you want to be honest, it's time. If you want to leave, if you want to do what you want to do, do it. Make the choice. Because now is not the time to stay on the fence. And if you do stay on the fence, rest assured, you're still being judged. So you'll have to make a choice in the end. It'll be the very last thing you do. But hey, hopefully the choice that you make sets you on a good path. But if it doesn't, maybe the next lifetime. You know, luck of the draw. So, with that, my reflections, as one divine spirit would say, to them as well. Now, with that, for the light workers, keep doing your thing. For the chosen, stay on mission. And for those who know, let's get it.